Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of All Things Real Estate. Well, I was sitting drinking my cup of coffee this morning, and I came across this article that was pretty shocking to me. It was about a big group of people who apparently hate their homes. What in the world, right? Are you curious as to what that's all about? Well, I was too, and I'm telling you all about it in this week's video, so stay tuned.
All things real estate and all things real estate.
So, what group of people reported that about their homes? It's the millennials out there. A whopping 63% of millennial homeowners apparently have buyer's remorse about their current home purchase. That's a lot of people, and that's so sad. 63%. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to take a quick second in case you're listening to this and wondering what age group millennials are part of, because we've got Gen X out there, we've got millennials, we've got Gen Z, etc. And I can't keep them straight, so maybe you can't either. Okay, so millennials are described as being born between the years 1981 and 1996. So these people are between the ages of 27 and 42. Since I'm recording this video in 2023, if you're watching this in later years, you have to do your own math, sorry. So 63% of people aged 27 to 42 do not like their homes. That's crazy, right? So the next question is, why? The good thing is, the survey also asked why. Because I'm like, I need to know what is going on here. And really, the reasons came down to three basic things, which were, number one, the cost of home maintenance. And I get that, right? You get into a home, you think it's going to be all home sweet home, and it's like, whoa, this is a lot. I can really relate to this because I bought my first home as a single woman at the age of 25, 26. And within about 3 months of owning it, I was like, what the heck did I do to myself with this house? Between the yard maintenance, the updates I wanted to do, and the fact that I was really having to budget hard to make that monthly payment, I was definitely feeling the pain of home ownership. Plus, since I owned the home, of course there was no landlord to call. So the fact that millennials are reporting not liking their home due to home maintenance costs, I definitely can see that for sure. Number two, the size of the home. They reported that the house they bought was a little too small, and others actually reported that they regretted buying a home that was too big too, which I thought was interesting. I think this shows that it's easy to get distracted by certain things when you're looking for a house. Maybe you overlook the size of the living room because the furniture it's staged with makes it look cozy instead of small. Or the kitchen size seems okay until you're in there banging around with pots and pans trying to cook. I don't relate to that because I don't cook very much, but I know others do. On the other hand, once you have to fill a huge house with all that furniture, or you feel like you have to navigate the length of a freaking football field to get to your kids, that can make a house feel way too big as well. I can definitely see both sides of that for sure. So you got to get one that's just right. On to number three, and it's that old adage, location, location, location. This is big. Anytime I've had anyone compromise on location, it ends badly. So this does not surprise me, unfortunately. When you're buying a house, there's usually something that you are going to have to sacrifice. That is very true. I actually tell my buyers, you're never going to get a home that's a 10 out of 10. And that's true for every house, even if it's a brand new house. Trust me on that. If it's an 8 or a 9, buy it. It's the one, I promise you, 8 or 9. But do not compromise on location, or like these millennials are reporting, you will end up regretting it. So this begs the question, how do you prevent that buyer's remorse? You're making a huge investment, and the last thing you want is to hate the house you buy. And that's the last thing I want for you too, if I help you buy it. It's imperative, number one, that you meet with an educated, knowledgeable real estate broker, agent, before jumping into home search. If you're in the Dallas area, that would be me, of course. But seriously, a knowledgeable realtor is going to walk you through the entire process of helping you identify your must list, and will ultimately help you remember what you've said is important and what you really want to pay attention to as you're looking at homes. Number two, make sure you have a very detailed home inspection. I honestly don't think even in the crazy market I've ever had a buyer skip inspection entirely, but you want a good inspector. You want to feel confident that you're buying the right home. You want to feel like you're aware of and okay with the house's defects or necessary repairs before closing, before you get the keys. Number 3, consider the future and seriously prioritize. Make a list of must-haves and deal breakers and stick to them. Consider how long you'll probably live in the home, what features you might need in the future also, and not just buy for right now. If the size of the home feels good to you, that's great. Does it feel cramped in certain situations and that kind of thing? What kind of lifestyle are you looking at? Where do you might want your kids to go to school? Where are your grandparents? That kind of thing. If buyer's remorse does happen, it's usually because of one of those 3 things. So don't get distracted by some home feature that you fall in love with and forget those must-haves or deal breakers. It's not a good idea, I promise you. That's it. That's all I got for you today. Avoid that buyer's remorse. Enjoy your cup of coffee. I'm going to go do that myself. And if you have any comments about buying a house that you hated in the past and now you're in the right one, I'd love to hear about it. I always love to hear about any of your real estate stories or any of your needs that you've had in the past that you've actually been able to meet in this next house and that kind of thing. And I would love to see you next week on another edition of All Things Real Estate. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and leave a comment and like. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.